Welcome to the Black Alaska Health and Wellness Podcast, a podcast where we explore issues of importance to the health and well-being of Black Alaskans. I'm your host, Aman Ambese, Assistant Professor, School of Social Work in the College of Health of the University of Alaska, Anchorage. The series of podcasts is born out of the work of the Alaska Black Caucus to conduct the first health needs assessment of Black Alaskans. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge the support of the Anchorage Health Department, whose funding made it possible to conduct the health needs assessment of Black Alaskans. To the staff and faculty of the University of Alaska Anchorage School of Social Work and the College of Health, and the endless support and dedication of the Alaska Black Caucus and its members to advance the health and well-being of Black Alaskans. In today's episode, I sat down with a person who has dedicated her life to advancing the social, economic, and political rights of the Black community of Alaska, Celeste Hodge Growden, the President and CEO of the Alaska Black Caucus. I started by asking Celeste to tell us a little bit about her background.
I went to school here, graduated from UAA, the social work program, and worked for the municipality of Anchorage as soon as I graduated from high school. And so I was able to retire after 30.6 years with the city and the state. I was president of the NAACP for nearly a decade, longest serving president. And from there, went on to serve as executive director for Shiloh Community Development. Was executive director there, and we advocated for youth, people of color, and the disadvantaged. From there, I went on to the Alaska Black Caucus.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. Recently, you led the first Black Health Needs Assessment. Can you tell us what that means for the Alaska Black Caucus and the work that you do to advance the health of Black Alaskans?
God bless the Alaska Black Caucus with the funding from the State of Alaska Municipality of Anchorage, the COVID-19 resources, to be able to bring about the health needs assessment in partnership with UAA social work program. And, for me, that speaks volumes. The fact that we have never had a health needs assessment for Black people, it just really allows us to take a look at us as a people and our health needs and to figure out, what really is going on and what can be done to reduce the disparities within health as it relates to Black people. And I'm so proud of that, not just the partnership, but the assessment. And I know that there was a lot of information that came from that assessment, and now it's trying to really connect with the powers that be to bring about policy to help reduce the disparities and for our community to learn about what's in that health needs assessment so that we can live healthier lives as a people.
How can people get involved in supporting the work of the Alaska Black Caucus?
There's just so many different ways to get involved with the Alaska Black Caucus. All you have to do is visit our website at thealaskablackcaucus.com, click on the links, and there's something for everyone. We have upcoming projects. We got the Betty Davis African American Health and Equity Summit that's coming up on February the 18th at the Betty Davis East Anchorage High School in celebration of Black History Month. That's an annual event, and there's opportunities to help on that. There's allies, within the Alaska Black Caucus. There are actually people that don't look like me that are just as involved as I am trying to make sure that the Alaska Black Caucus meets its mission. And honestly, we could not be as successful. We could not do this work to the level that we are doing it without the allies.
Thank you so much. I noticed that you use the word allies quite a bit. Would I be right to suggest that the Alaska Black Caucus is not just for people who identify as Black?
The majority of allies do not look like me. They're not people of color, but they have a passion for this work. And, I just, right now I'm smiling because I'm thinking of a number of people who are allies, who are core allies. And all I have to do is just reach out to them. And sometimes when I don't reach out to them, they're reaching out to me. There's just so much work that they do. And I'm thinking about that whole renaming of the of East Anchorage High School to Betty Davis East Anchorage High School. A lot of that effort and the success was because of our allies.
Yes, and the community conversations?
We have the community conversations that we host every Sunday on Zoom surrounding a topic relating to race. They're very well attended. Some of the subjects, a lot of organizations or businesses, individuals would not want to have as a topic because, sometimes they cause pain in the discussion, but without that conversation, we remain stuck. And it's because we're able to have those conversations that we're able to move the needle. And you wouldn't believe the number of people who connect back with me just saying, thank you for that. I didn't know this. And, some of the conversations that you have are really, they're really not just interesting, but they educate and they help us to be better, to do better.
Thank you. I want to go back to what you have mentioned about your experiences in the job market as a Black person. What does it mean for you to be Black in Alaska?
Oh, goodness, see, you're going to make me start crying. But, growing up here and going to school here and then working here right out of high school was very hard for me as a Black person. And those are the memories that I bring with me that help channel me into the work that I currently do. It's because of the way that I was treated, that I don't want anybody else to be treated that way, that I am really passionate. But I know that discrimination exists in Alaska, and for people to say that it does not is really hard to grasp. It's hard to understand when I see it every day. I mean, just sometimes the phone calls that I get because of the work that I do tells me that racism is alive and well, yes, even in Anchorage, Alaska. So we have to do everything we can for our young people so that if they're qualified for a job, they get the job regardless to the color of their race. And we have to do everything we can so that we can live healthy lives and not be dismissed when we go see our physician because of the color of our skin. When it comes to economics and businesses, I mean, there's just so much to say as it relates to racism, even being a public health crisis. We suffer a lot because of racism, even in the land of the midnight sun and home of the great outdoors.
Wow, thank you for your courage and unending dedication. Before we finish, is there anything else you would like to talk about today?
I really want to talk about our Equity Center. Mm-hmm. The Equity Center, because of the Assembly, Anchorage Assembly, and so many supporters and donors throughout our community, like Providence. I think about Key Bank and can't forget the Rasmussen Foundation, but they have been so gracious in providing funding so that we can purchase our own home, our first building. We're calling it, as I shared, the Equity Center. And it's going to be a place where we as a people, we as the BIPOC community can go for trainings, learn about opportunities within Anchorage and Alaska. We can have classes on so many different subjects. And so this is just an opportunity for us to really dig down deep to help our community in so many areas. And I'm so proud of that. And that's why when that is said and done, that will be amazing. And I'm so looking forward to that day when we have a place we can call home.
Oh, that day when we have a place we can call home. Thank you so much. This episode was produced by Thomas Moore and Amana Mbise. If you would like to support the work of the Alaska Black Caucus, please go to www.thealaskablackcaucus.com. Until next time, bye-bye.